Hi, Evelien. Welcome to your spotlight.
I
So, tell everyone a little bit about who you are, where you live.
yeah, my name is Evelien and I live in the Netherlands, in a small town called Leiden. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Very good. And talk about the frustrations that you had with your body or food before we started working together.
Yeah, so before we started working together, um, I was so frustrated because I was always so obsessed about eating the right things, about not eating the unhealthy food, and really being very angry with myself if I did eat the wrong foods or the unhealthy foods, such as chocolate too much. I was just so frustrated with always thinking about it, even when I decided to let go of that because of your amazing Facebook group. I actually started this journey like trying it on my own and trying to just allow myself to eat everything. But even though my behavior had changed, like I was trying to just eat everything, my thoughts and my feelings hadn't changed about food or about my body or about, I was just so scared of gaining weight and getting out of control. It was just, yeah, like I was literally obsessing about it all of the time. And it was so exhausting.
Yeah, and I think if I recall correctly, like your background or what you had experienced before was you were very much invested in like health. And in case those of you that are listening and not seeing this, we're putting air quotes around these words when we talk about health. So you were very much obsessed with like health, and so you
Yeah,
wanted to come out of that because it was causing that frustration and obsession in your life.
exactly, exactly. I was so I had come from a background of clean eating. Again, I'm putting air quotes in as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing really clean about food. Yes. Yeah. So I had this really strong sense of what was what were the right foods to eat, what were the wrong foods to eat. I mean, I think a lot of people can relate because the media nowadays, they just throw it at you all the time, like sugar is the devil, and all those thoughts were just instilled in me. And I was just, yeah, it was really hard for me to let go of those feelings and to let go of those beliefs about food, and also about the perception that being fat is a really terrible thing to become. And yeah, I was so scared of getting out of control, gaining weight. And yeah, it just actually it made me um, it's really stopped me from just living my life the way I wanted it to, because I was so thinking about it so much that, yeah,
Hmm.
that was huge frustration for me.
Yeah, yeah. And so what prompted you to decide to change?
So there was this one night when I had been working out, and I, I literally caught myself having thought about the question, should I eat ice cream or not, for over half an hour, like straight, like without any interruptions, just repeating the question over and over again in my mind. And I just, you know, becoming a little bit more familiar with your work through your Facebook group and through your blog posts, etc., your podcasts, I noticed that this was going on within me, because before I wouldn't even notice that it was something strange or something. So I was like, whoa, this is really, really eating me up. It's really, consuming me almost. And I went to your Facebook group, and I asked advice at all the amazing women who are out there. Um, and I was like, okay, so the question is not just like, should I eat ice cream or not, but it's like so much more and so much deeper. And I got so many wonderful comments of people saying, just screw it. I think you're so afraid of, gaining weight. That's probably what's keeping you obsessed about this question. Just let go, just surrender, give yourself full permission. And I decided then and there to do it. However, like I said before, um, that was not enough for me. I mean, it took me another 2 months to actually decide to get help and coaching from you, because, yeah, it was still something I thought about a lot. So now maybe I did have that ice cream, or I did have that chocolate, or I tried to give myself permission, but in my head it was still like the black and white of the good and the bad food was still there, and the black and white about good bodies and bad bodies, and yeah, going out of control, etc. Those anxieties, those fears were still there, and I just really needed help to get rid of those and to really overcome those.
Yeah, and I like it's so important to recognize that piece that you mentioned about you took half an hour to think about whether you should or shouldn't eat ice cream. Like that's when I talk about, diet culture sucking away our resources. You think about that. That's 30 minutes of time of mental energy that could be either used for just recharging and self-care or something that is going to add fulfillment to your life or something more purposeful. And so we don't even realize, we think that that's normal. And so, yeah, I mean, kudos to you for recognizing like, this is not right and this needs to change, because I think it's so embedded and it's so normalized that we should just be thinking about food all the time and questioning things. And
Yeah.
so but yeah, I mean 30 minutes of time, if you think about that accumulating over our lifetime every day or multiple times a day, it's like how much time are we taking away from really living. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. But talk to me a little bit about what some of the stepping stones were that helped you along the way.
Mm-hmm. So there were so many things there in your program and your coaching that really helped me. So the first really big one for me was in literally our first conversation. You gave me full permission. It's something that I had already, read in your blog post, or heard people or read people talk about that. But just hearing it from you to me was so profound, and so I just really needed to hear that. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds. I get a little bit emotional even talking about it now, because it's so it's a whole different world if someone actually takes the time to listen to your story and then says, Evelien, you have full permission to eat anything you want, everything you want, whenever you want it. And yeah, I mean, it's about so much more than food, obviously, but I really needed that. I really needed to hear that. And just also you really how do you say that, you really reassured me that this is a journey that you have been guiding so many women in. And I was like, yeah, but for me, maybe it's going to be different. I'm going to be the one that's going to get out of control, and I'm going to be the one that's going to get diseases and going to get unhealthy by just eating everything I want. I was just so afraid, not trusting myself, not trusting my body, and you reassuring me that, yes, you can trust yourself, and this will take a little bit of time, but you will absolutely get to the other side. It's just, yeah, that's like the best thing in the world. So
That's good.
and that's really like the first conversation, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It was like there was so much more in the program and in your coaching. Like also really important to me was buy bigger clothes. Also, it sounds so simple. It sounds so like it's not even about that. It's about so much more and emotional stuff. And we go through so much in the program, but sometimes these simple pragmatic things are the things that you really need to actually be able to make room for those emotional layers that you go into in the program. So buy bigger clothes, so that when I noticed that I was gaining weight, and I just kept getting reminded of that and kept getting thrown back into, oh my god, this is so bad. No, buy bigger clothes. That's what you told me. Buy bigger clothes. And I just allowed my body to be. That was also a huge step. And I don't know, I can keep on going. I have another one, which is, just being in the group, and also just seeing so many stories, hearing so many stories from so many different people, and also your advice on submerging yourself, I don't know if that's the correct term, in images of bodies of women who are larger than my own body, which is something you don't see very often in the regular media. It's something that has helped me as well, like seeing the beauty in all different kinds of shapes, colors, whatever, backgrounds. Just, yeah, that's helped me as well. So Yeah,
Yeah.
and so much more, but these are just first that come to mind.
Yeah, I know, and it's those little things that make a big impact. Like that, those are, steps that I talk about all the time. They're in every single program that I run, and I think that they do tend to make a huge difference. And what they allow you to do, like you said, is then do the deeper emotional stuff that has to be done to really change your beliefs and unpack, where this stuff came from for you, and like what's going to make you feel more confident in yourself now that you're not thinking about your body so much anymore. So the stuff about the clothes and the social media, I think they really help you to just not think about your body so much anymore, and then you're able to kind of go into the deeper stuff and really build up self-worth and rid yourself of like so much perfectionism and black and white thinking and like all that other stuff that comes into play.
Exactly. And I just want to add one more thing that was so helpful for me, because something that was really hard for me as well, what I kept struggling with was, I know that a couple of people in my environment weren't immediately on board with this
Mm-hmm.
new journey. So, for example, my boyfriend is a very rational person, a very, he kind of believed in the healthy, unhealthy paradigm I was so invested in, to a much more normal and sane degree, by the way. He did not have any eating problems or anything like that. But I really noticed that this was something that was holding me back in the beginning of my journey, because I was so afraid of what he was going to say. And maybe he was right, It was something like, oh, is he right? Maybe he's going to, or will he accept me if I do choose to go on this journey? How do I get him on track as well? Because we were fighting actually in the beginning, and your advice also really helped me in that department, to really talk to him, to really be able to explain what this meant to me, this journey, what I wanted to get out of it. And that was also a huge step, because from the moment that he actually got it, it became so much easier to just follow the steps and get into the deeper emotional work. And I felt more supported instead of, being held back by him, which
Yeah.
is also so important. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Navigating those discussions is so important. So you were always so good about taking whatever we talked about and then putting it into action.
Immediately.
Yes, you're a good student, which I know can work to your detriment too, because it's like we're high achievers, but
It's
but
not always a
it
good
worked
thing.
really well in this program.
Yeah.
So, were there any highlight moments for you that you can recall that I don't know you did things differently or that really stood out for you?
Well, like so many, and like so many that right now already feel like the new normal for such a long time. But I distinctly remember wearing shorts for the first time, just I wanted to say without caring. It's not exactly true, because I did care, but I did it anyway. And I felt like, yeah, I don't like the way my legs look, but it's okay. I'm okay. I can just be here in this hot weather and wear my shorts, and it's okay. I get to do this. That was wonderful. Also, a lot of moments where, like, coworkers would, how do you say that? Celebrate their birthdays and bring treats to the office. And this would always be such distraction for me during meetings, because I would be going over and over in my mind, like, should I eat it? I want to eat it, but should I? Because it's really bad, and all that bullshit.
Mm,
It's just something I noticed got so much easier. Like, for example, one time someone brought chocolate donuts, which is something I really like. Um, and I actually remember thinking, like, after the meeting, like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about it. Like, for the first half hour, I wasn't really feeling it, so I didn't have one. And then I really wanted one, and I had one, and that was it. And I didn't give another thought about it. It was just, I was in the meeting, actually, engaging with my coworkers instead of obsessing about, should I have that chocolate donut or not? So many more moments, but these are two that really stand out to me.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's so good. And I know like you've been doing just some work with like helping others with their
Yeah.
own perfectionism and body positivity as well. Are you okay to just talk about the talk you did? Because I know you did a talk, like you put yourself out there and you did a talk, and yeah,
Yeah,
I would love you
yeah,
to share that.
definitely. So one of the things that really like is so huge for me in having completed this program and this coaching and is that like we discussed before, it freed up so much of my mental space to actually start doing the things I really wanted to do. Turns out I don't think food is that interesting as I thought it was. I don't give a rat's ass about food. I'm curse, but so I don't give a damn about that. What I do give a damn about is helping other women feel great, just like you do every day. I mean, such an inspiration. And I actually at one point had a talk at the plus size store about accepting yourself, being okay in your body. It was just so great. And after that, I've actually also started my own coaching business, or I had already started it, but picked it up at a new level. And right now, I'm just helping women overcome their perfectionism, not necessarily only related to body image, but just in a much broader sense. But it's like the work that lights up my soul every day, and I'm so grateful to be able to have that mental space there to just do this work. And yeah, I can just I want everyone to experience that same thing
Yeah.
because it's just the best.
So amazing. And I feel like that's what it's all about. When I was talking about this with somebody recently about doing this work really puts you in a position to make an impact on the culture. And, it doesn't have to be through coaching. It can
Mm-hmm.
just be through, whether you're just a better role model to somebody else in your life or your kids, or you have time so you go and volunteer somewhere, which I know people I've worked with before have done. It just allows you to, like you said, like find something that really feeds your soul, that really fires you up, that gives you just that sense of purpose and meaning. And I think that's what's so amazing about it. That's what I love the most about this when things come full circle. I think it's like the gravy is being able to sit in the meeting and not think about the donut, but the real thing that I love seeing is when there's like this impact left on the world in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be, anything hugely profound. Like I said, it doesn't have to mean you go and like work in an ashram or anything like that. But it's just like, doing little things, it starts to make a difference. So I just wanted to reiterate that again because I love hearing that. So I'm so, so happy for you.
Also, something that is not even related to like work or something like that, but just I think this is something I've heard from a lot of the women in your programs, which is our partners, our friends, our family generally say after this program, like we're so much nicer to be around. And not to say that, oh, women should be nicer. I'm not saying that at all,
Yeah.
but like we become a little bit, more okay with ourselves, a little bit more relaxed, and that actually makes us more fun to be around, and also more forgiving and accepting towards others, which is just, yeah, also what the world really needs, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. That's such a good point too. So how does this feel for you? How does it feel to be living your life now?
It actually feels fucking great. I can't say it any other way. Just, I mean, it's not like I live a fairy tale life, obviously, because we all know that's not something that's really a thing. But I'm just so thankful that I get to actually listen to myself, listen to what I want to do, listen to what I want to mean in the world or just add to the world, without being distracted with all that stuff about body image or about food or about all those things that really just don't make anyone a better person or happier. It's just, yeah, I'm so thankful.
Yeah, good. How do
So
you feel in your body now?
I feel good in my body. I feel okay. I don't think that I ever felt, well, not ever, but I wasn't in a place where I felt horrible in my body per se. I was just so anxious, and so scared that my body would get out of control, or just I
Yeah.
would gain weight endlessly, endlessly, and I was so I was maybe okay-ish with where I was at that point, but I was always scared that I was going to get bigger. And right now I'm like, besides the fact that bigger is not, it's not worse. It's just bigger. That's something that's a huge relief. And also I'm like, it's okay. My body is going where it wants to go. It's okay. It's fine. I'm
Yeah.
here. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, because before it was like conditional, right? It was conditional. It was like, oh, if it
Exactly.
changes, then like my life is gonna be
Yeah,
horrible. And so
exactly.
yeah, getting to a point where it's like, yeah, it's fine. That's honestly the best thing I could ever ask for with people. It's just like, this is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah. That's great. So good. Do you have a piece of advice for people listening?
Well, definitely all the things that I learned. So really trust yourself. Really just go for it. Go for that thing that you want to do. Go for the dream that you want to go after. And if it takes some help, please get the help, because I know I sure needed it, and I wasn't able to, do this all on my own. And we're all here for you. Just reach out, maybe join the program. I know it helped me so much to just not have to do it all on my own, just be guided and be coached all the way through. Just yeah, if that's something that other women can do as well and need it, I just highly recommend it. So yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
that. No, just thank you. I'm so happy I got to know you, Summer. That's something I wanted to add. Just yeah, you have no idea. I think you do have an idea, but you have no idea what just your presence in the world and in my world has meant to me. And yeah,
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, your presence in this world means so much to me. The fact that you trusted me and um yeah, and decided to, seek out my help. Working with you was always such a pleasure. You were always just there and shared whatever was going on, and then took whatever came out of our time together, put it into action, and progressively worked at this. So, you are just such a wonderful person. You have so many gifts to give, and I see you just like doing well in all these different areas of your life and following your dreams, and I think it's amazing. So, thank you. All
Thanks.
right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. It was amazing to catch up and just, recount all of the memories that we had together.
Yeah, so cool, so cool. Yeah.
Rock on.